Good evening. John again going for Immaculate Grid. Going for that low rarity score as always. Game doesn't really change. Had a pretty good game last I guess it was yesterday. I actually checked back before I went to work this morning and it was at like a five, I think. It actually got a little bit better. I think it makes it my second best game ever. Of course, once again, I had an unfair advantage because the Brewers were shown. I'll acknowledge it. I don't think I'll get a score that low with non-Brewers ever, but my two best scores, 3 and 5, have been while the Brewers were playing. Um, yeah, actually, this might have been last night that I refreshed. I don't remember exactly, but 140,000. After 140,000, I was at a rarity score of 5. I think that was actually last night. Let's refresh today, find out what we've got, and get right into it. So, 200 hits in a season. This is one that is I don't know if it's formally burned me before, but just like higher percentages than I would have thought. Um, so I have that's an interesting one. We've got the Tampa Bay Rays and the Yankees. Along the left-hand side there, we've got Cleveland, Naps slash Indians slash Guardians at the top. Um, Washington Nationals slash Montreal Expos also at the top and then 30 or more stolen bases in a season. Cool. So where to begin here? This is it's an interesting one. I think I'm gonna start down here. I'm going with Shoeless Joe Jackson. He's gonna work. Is his first name on here really Shoeless? Nap Lajoie will also work. Will also work. Earl Real might work. I'm not sure about Al Rosen, but I'm very confident Shoeless Joe Jackson working. So let's go ahead and select him. Ooh, not already pretty much at my score from yesterday. So that I probably could have thought a little bit more on that one. Gotten a better one. Um, I am going to invoke a rule that I invoked a few videos ago, but I still think it's a good one. Get Julio Franco in here for his one game playing with the Tampa Bay Rays or Tampa Bay Devil Rays in 1999. So he'll definitely work. Ooh, he's that's a lot higher than you would expect from a guy who only played one game with one of these teams, 0.9%. But I'll take it. And now I'm gonna go with someone that I've kind of been saving, and there's no reason on earth for me to know who this player was, but one of it might have been my first like straight up miss where I didn't get Immaculate Grid while making these videos was Tigers and Cubs. And then I went into it and I was just like, I don't blame myself. Like I didn't want to go a Javi Baez. I wanted to take a Hail Mary on someone else. And I was like, I don't feel so bad. Randall Simon was in there, Willie Hernandez, former MVP, was in there. And then I saw this guy, Germany Schaefer. There's nothing particularly meaningful about this player. He was a utility player, but I saw he played for the Cubs and Tigers. He also works for the the Washington Senators, um, which means he works for the Twins. And he played one game each with the Yankees and whatever Cleveland was called at the time. So he'll work with an aggregate total of 2 games between these two teams. And he takes a score of 0.008%. That's a very niche one. I've been saving that one ever since I looked him up. This is weeks ago where I messed up on the Tiger, and he'll be my pick for Tigers Cubs. Him or Randall Simon. Randall Simon once beat up one of the Brewers racing sausages. So uh, that's a fond memory. All right, back into it then. Um, Yankees and Nationals or Yankee or Expos, I should say. Let's see, how about Nick Johnson? Alfonso Soriano will work. Nick Johnson will work around the same era. Um, Javi Vasquez will work. Wonder if the fact that he was an Expo would buy me a little bit more. or little bit of a lower rarity score. I think in other expos in the 80s, Tim Raines will work. I think Tim Raines will work too well though. He's a very prominent expo. I'm gonna go Nick Johnson. That was too high. Javi Vasquez would have been better. Javi Vasquez would have been better. So I'm not having the best game here. So I'm already at about 12%, 12.908%. Let's see here. Yankees with 30 stolen bases in a season. Uh, Ricky Henderson will work. Derek Jeter will work. Alfonso Soriano will work. He also would have worked here. Um, I think Willie Randolph will probably work. Um, I don't know that a ton of people are going to work though. Mantle was very fast, but he didn't steal a ton of bases. Down here, Carl Crawford will work, I think, once again too well. And then down here we need someone who had 300 hits in a season and 200 hits. Sorry, 200 hits and 30 stolen bases. Let's see. Molitor will work there. And we also need a 200 hit season from the Expos or Nationals. Daniel Murphy that one year, maybe? He had like 348 one season. I don't think there's gonna be a ton of options. I'm just trying to think out loud. You got Marquise Grissom. I don't think Tim Raines drew his fair share of walks. I don't think Andre Dawson or Gary Carter hit quite well enough to get to 200 hits. Um, ooh, I got a good one here, actually. I just thought of someone. 1996, Mark Grudzielanek. Have a Upper Deck Collector's Choice All-Star card of Mark Grudzielanek with 200 hits on that team. So he takes 4%. Wonder who else is getting votes. 4% is pretty good there. Ooh, that's gonna be. I'm gonna go Dave Mart. Yeah, Dave Martinez does work here. He played for the Expos. It's now that I think he's the current Nationals manager. I'm pretty sure, and he definitely was on those expansion Rays teams, Devil Rays. You know, he takes 2%. All right, 30 stolen bases, 200 hits. Just because I think he'll take a lot from the bottom left there, I'm gonna go with Nap Lujoy because I'm quite sure he doesn't work really. He stole all kinds of bases. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I learned something. I was very confident Nap Lajoie was. You know what? Jackson would have worked here. Lajoie would have worked there. All right. So gets me. I get my best percentage ever on a single one, but don't get the immaculate grid. Um, I thought he was fast. I really thought he was a fast dude who stole a bunch of bases. In my head, that was accurate. Um, Kenny Lofton would also work. I think. Man, it is a lot of people who would have worked. I should mess that up. I'm just gonna go with Molitor. 1%. Could have just gone with a safe 1%. I was already not making it. And well, since I've already not gotten it, let's go with Willie Randolph. I think he'll be a more interesting pick. He takes 4%. Um, Man, there were so many options here. I just wanted to be unique. Interesting. Lofton has actually, yeah, Lofton would have worked over there too. Henderson is the leader here. I'm surprised there's 27 Yankees. I only came up with like 3 as I was going along there. Um, see the 4 people here real quick. So Vidro, Guerrero twice, Grudzielanek, Al Oliver once. Good for Al Oliver. Solid hitter. Okay, and then for the Yankees, we've got several seasons with really Randolph, a number of seasons with some people I wouldn't have gotten ever. Then pretty much just this guy, Ben Chapman, over a 30-year span. Really just these two guys over a 45-year span. Snuffy Sternweiss. I'm going to save that one for later. I'm going to look up his career. And then just because I learned something today, because I thought Nap Lajoie was a big base stealer, but are you kidding me? He sold 29 bases in 1904. Ha ha! Well, it's like too close to take with two strikes. It was too close for me to be going. I thought he was much more of a speedster than he was. So learned a thing about Nap Lajoie. Um, but anyway, you don't win them all. So humbled once again by Immaculate Grid. I'll be back at it tomorrow. Thanks a lot for tuning in and have a good night.